We are live, I believe. Let me quickly check, refresh the group. All right, yeah, we are live. So, hi everyone, welcome to a brand new Facebook Live. And today we have a very special guest with us. And before I even introduce her, I would like to first of all welcome each and every one of you to today's live. We are going to talk about how to build and develop a winning mindset, a strong mindset, and how to do it practically. That is what we are going to talk about today. And like I said, we have a very special guest. So before I introduce her to you, I want to ask you guys one question. Okay, how many of you are currently happy with your life right now? Give me a yes in the chat. How many of you are currently happy with what you are doing in life, with what you have achieved, and the overall, especially in this pandemic? Give me a yes in the chat. And how many of you are constantly looking for ways to upgrade yourself, upgrade your knowledge, to become better? Let me know that as well in the chat. And for those of you who are joining us right now, welcome everyone once again. And we are going to be talking about how to build a strong and bulletproof mindset. But before we start speaking with our guest, before we start picking her brain, I just want to ask you guys one question. How many of you are really happy with your life right now? Let me know in the chat. Awesome. So people are still joining in. I can see more and more number of people joining in. That's great. So yeah, while you guys think about it, let me introduce you to the very special guest that we have today. And today we have personal transformation coach Shilpa Patil with us, and she's going to be telling us how to build a strong and bulletproof mindset, especially during 2020, the COVID year, and how to move ahead with life. So thank you so much, Shilpa, for joining us, and thank you so much for taking out time for this live.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and welcome everyone for this session. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, and guys, in case you don't know what a personal transformation coach is, I know a little bit about it, so I'll just give you one or two sentences, and then Shilpa can add to it if I miss on anything. So, a personal transformation coach basically helps you find the true essence of yourself. Find the true version of yourself, and the personal transformation coach empowers you to be 100% authentic version of yourself, which means you are in complete control of your own self. I hope I got that right, Shilpa.
Yeah, almost. But let me add to it.
Yeah,
So, what
please.
I usually do is a lot of people come to me with the mindset problems, so a lot of them don't know what they need to do next in life. A lot of them have some goals, or they want to work on their energy, and so personal transformation involves everything that a person wants to work on them for their own personal growth.
Hmm.
So, what I do is I work with them closely one on one and understand where are they in their life and where do they need help with. So, instead of me advising, I facilitate and I channel for them. I act as a catalyst for them to understand, to gain that mental clarity and how
Right.
to achieve goals in the most easiest and practical way. Yeah.
Got it. That's amazing. So, from my understanding, you don't just tell people how to fish, you teach them how to fish.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah, because I think this is a very smart thing that you said, that you help people get that mental clarity.
Yeah.
Because I believe today everyone is so much distracted, there is so much noise, that
Hmm.
even mental clarity is like a drug,
Yeah, it is. It is definitely.
expensive, especially.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much going around, and especially on social media, so much information, and it for a lot of people, it becomes like an information overload. And in such kind of a situation, having that simplicity of mind and being focused and having that
Mhm.
improved productivity in life is very important. I personally feel that. So yeah.
Right. That's absolutely true. And in fact, like when we asked people about how many of them wanted to, get more clarity, what was the current problem, a lot of people said that especially this year, things have been really chaotic. Things have been a lot different, and for some people and most of the people, they have also been difficult because suddenly you find yourself confined in a space where you can't go out, you can't do much, and staying in that same space for a long period of time, that definitely takes a toll. So that
Yeah.
is why when we asked people, they shared a couple of things. So the first one that I feel, which is also one of the most important things that I personally experienced during this lockdown, was that sometimes, when we are sitting in our homes throughout the day, there is zero motivation at days, lack of motivation, and I have personally experienced this as well. I have had my fair share of this as well. So does that happen to you too,
Of
or
course, like whoever use it happens to all
yeah,
of us. Like definitely it happens to all of us for sure. So
awesome. So mhm.
yeah, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was asking. So how do you like come out of it? Do you have like some magic uh, mantra or something which you recite and you are suddenly out of that space?
No, so I personally like to keep my life very simple and
Mhm.
even like simple in my mind as well. So what I personally do is, in fact, I would like to share this story of this lion. So there's this
Uh-huh.
like how usually lions or tigers do. They rest for majority of the time, and when the time is right, they pounce. So what I want to say is, you don't need to push yourself to motivate yourself all the time. With motivation, resting and then like for just like taking a step back and like taking it easy is equally important. So what I do is whenever I don't have that mental clarity and I'm not feeling motivated, I don't push myself. I take some time off. I'll do something else. And
Mhm.
then like time will come suddenly, well, I'll like feel motivated and then I get back. So this is one thing. Another thing, things are body movement, like if you exercise, you do yoga, or you do something that gives you joy. So for me, it is music. So I would like listen to some favorite music, get into the mood, and then when the energies are right, like you are motivated, instead of just like I need to be motivated all the time. You don't need to. You need to do things when you're motivated, and it just like when you're motivated, it just takes 2 to 3 hours to get the 10, 15 hours of work. So so it's very
Ah.
much about understanding your energy and mind, and instead of pushing it, understanding and then working in sync with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's actually true. Like I have seen this sometimes as well that when I am really, really low, I'm not feeling motivated, irrespective of how hard I try, I cannot do anything much productive.
Yeah,
And sometimes if I wake up one day and I feel very energetic, I feel very focused, on that day, by the noon itself, I can complete a lot of my work.
yeah, true, true.
So,
uh,
mm,
yeah.
yeah, please.
The other thing is not just motivation, but all
Mhm.
kinds of feelings and emotions. They come in form of waves. So imagine like an ocean with a wave. So it comes in waves. So even motivation is like the same. So whenever you are in that wave, you take full advantage of it, and when you are not, you do something else.
Mhm.
And there's this concept called intrinsic motivation. So the motivation should come from within. You should feel, and for that, you need to understand why you are doing something. So the why behind it is something that motivates a lot of people. Instead of finding it out in an outside environment, you dig deeper and understand, okay, why do I need to do this, and you connect to the why of the thing that you're doing.
Wow, that's really amazing. Like I did not know about the intrinsic environment, and
Mm,
yeah. But on that note, I have a question as well. So, like you said, emotions come in waves. So, when someone says waves, and forgive me for this because I'm an engineer, the first
Mhm.
thing that comes into my mind is, so waves always are like this, like, like we
Yeah,
say a sine graph. So
yeah.
how do we balance it? Like, how do we balance these emotions? Because again, I'm a person who lives in extremities. So either my emotions are on the top or my emotions are
I
on
think
the
for
floor.
most of people that's the case. And I've learned it through hard way, like personally, like
Uh-huh.
I'm a very like emotionally driven person. If I'm into something, I'm completely into it. Like I'll work for like 15, 20 hours without like eating. And then if I'm not, like I
Wow.
wouldn't even look. So about how to manage the emotions. So I would like to add a bit of mindfulness concept to this. So, like I said, everything comes in waves, especially the thoughts, emotions, and feelings. And if you compare this with an analogy of waves and ocean, so
Hmm.
you are an ocean and you are not the waves. So consider yourself as the ocean, which is still, and the waves come in it. So your true nature, where like a lot of my work revolves around this, where I help people with understanding their true nature. So your true nature is like an ocean, and everything arises and falls into it. So you do not identify yourself with everything that you think and everything that you feel. You allow it to come and you allow it to go.
Hmm.
So a lot of identification work involves in this. Yeah.
That's such a great way to look at it. Like, I think when we identify ourselves as a wave, then it's easy for us to, go with the flow. But if we realize that we are the ocean, like you are saying, it becomes so, it makes so much sense to understand that an ocean is always still. It's just the waves that are coming and going.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Yeah. Like,
So you allow everything for in life to come and go. Allow all the feelings, allow all kinds of thoughts, because suffering happens when you try to resist something. Because it's not in your hand. You would never question, okay, where did this come? Like when you think in particular way, but then you are like, okay, I don't want to think like this, or I don't want to feel like this. Instead, the mindful way of doing it is you observe everything that's coming and that's going, because nothing lasts, nothing is permanent. It would like even motivation, it would last for some couple of hours, and after that, like you're like done with it, you will rest. So whenever whatever wave you are in, take like full advantage of it instead of getting entangled in it. Like just be in it and then like be non-attached.
right, right. That's true. And like one question that pops into my head here, Shilpa, is that the kind of clarity that you are having around this, okay, of course it did not come in a day. It might have taken you a long time, and I'm guessing like it would have taken you years. So now, in our community, not everyone wants to be a personal transformation coach. They are mostly looking to create an e-commerce business.
Yeah.
But I believe that even if you want to create a successful business, you need to have this amount of clarity like you are having in your field. So how did you achieve this level of clarity? What practices did you follow, and like how did it happen? Or were you born with so much clarity?
I wish. But yeah, so to answer your question, it didn't come very easy for me. So I have always been a very curious person, a lot of reading, a lot of
Hmm.
in presence of the mentors, gurus, and enlightened masters. I was lucky to be around them. So I would say a lot of personal curiosity and reading and practicing what I was reading and understanding. But then to
Mhm.
tell your audience how could they achieve that kind of clarity, the simple answer would be meditation. So I don't know like how many of y'all meditate, but just like taking that 10-15 minutes out in your day and just sitting with yourself and contemplating everything that's happening in your life without judgment, without labeling or judgment helps a lot. So for
Mhm.
me, I started with self inquiry. So I'm like a bit into spirituality as well. So self inquiry is a form of it's Advaita Vedanta's form of understanding yourself and gaining that mental clarity. So, but then for your audience, I would definitely suggest meditation, so
Mhm.
like taking a step back and finding your true center and power within.
Okay. Wow. So again, like meditation is something that for the first 27 years of my life, I could never do it. Most of the people recommended me meditation, but I think the thing with meditation is that when someone says meditate, no one tells you how to do it. So if you were to recommend meditation, what would you say should be the best way around it? Because most of the people want to meditate from what I have talked to them, but nobody knows how to do it.
Yeah, right, right. I mean, I get that a lot as well.
Yeah.
So, in fact, like you don't need to try. It's like you need to be. You just need
Mhm.
to be. So, how do you do that? First is I would definitely recommend for someone who's starting, who is in the beginning stage of meditation, to try to do it first in the morning when they wake up. And what you do is you set a timer of 10 minutes on your phone and you just sit with that and you close your eyes and do not, the number one thing I would suggest is do not try to resist your thoughts. Do not try to stop your thoughts. A lot of people they think that meditating means stopping thoughts and being like a guru, Like you don't need to do that. You just sit with yourself, put a timer, close your eyes, and just observe your breath. That's
Mhm.
about it. As simple as that. And in the course of doing this, if a lot of thoughts are coming and if your mind is all over the place, allow it to be. You don't need to resist anything. Allow everything to be as it is and just keep bringing your focus back on your breath. So you can start with 5 minutes, then you can keep adding 5 minutes. So I would start that way if I had to start again.
Mhm. Okay, yeah, that helps. But when you meditate, like, what's your way? Some people they recommended me that I should go for an application, like a mobile application. Some people said open YouTube, listen to binaural music, which I spelled wrong for 4 times because nobody even shared the spellings. Then there were some people who said that just observe your breath. Like, what
Hmm.
is your go-to way of meditation, and what would you recommend to someone who is just starting out?
Yeah, so I would definitely suggest two ways. YouTube has a lot of 5 minutes, 10 minutes guided meditation. So
Mhm.
guided meditation helps a lot in the beginning to guide your mind and like keep your mind focused while meditating. So definitely 5 to 10 to 15 minutes of guided meditation on YouTube. And then there are these couple of apps that I usually follow as well. One is called Simple Habits. So simple habits, in simple habits, you can choose for what kind of meditation do you want when you wake up, when you are stressed, when you have anxiety. So you can choose, and then you can choose the time as well. So simple habits, and then other one is Headspace. I mean, a
Mm.
lot of y'all might have heard of it because it's like a quite world-renowned app for meditation. So these are the three things that I definitely follow myself as well.
Okay, wow. And like, what's the best time for meditation? Like, what do you recommend?
Uh, so first in the morning is what I do because as soon as you wake up, the immediately the your mind starts thinking all kinds of thoughts. And what happens when you sleep? A lot of the previous day's thoughts they subside, and when you wake up, all of it comes on surface. So first thing in the morning, if you're able to do it, in fact, I would suggest like the moment you open your eyes, just like be with yourself for 5 10 minutes in the bed itself and connect to yourself. Put some 5 10 minutes guided meditation, and then start your day. And then again, like in the afternoon and evening or before sleeping. And of course, whenever you feel stressed, whenever you feel anxiety, you like just take some time out and connect to yourself.
Hmm. Right, right. Yeah, that definitely helps. In fact, you answered Akash's question as well. That is guided meditation helpful for beginners?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
right. And guys, like, please let us know if you have any other questions about this while we are talking about meditation, because I definitely have a couple of more things that I would love to. ask Shilpa. But if you guys have any questions, if you guys are liking the session so far, drop in a comment right now. Let us know you guys are here. Let us help reach this post to the maximum number of people, because the more you comment, the more you hit that like, heart, or smash button, the more people would see this post. So please, please, please drop in a comment right now. And yeah, the next one is like, when we asked people about the common obstacles and hurdles, this was like, I had put it as number 4, but ironically this was as number 1. And this was having negative people around us, like negative environment. So for example, I remember this one girl who specifically, when I made this post, messaged me saying that even after she does 10 to 12 hours of work in these times, her boss is always criticizing. The first thing he does in the morning is he criticizes her. And she feels so much negative that when she talks to her family, her parents are also feeling a little stressed because of their jobs. And similarly, a lot of people shared that they are also having these negative situations. They cannot go out. Everyone is right now like filled up to the brim.
Yeah.
Their emotions have almost taken them over, and nobody's getting a way to vent out anything that they want to do. So how do you handle such situations? I'm pretty sure like you would be facing a lot of these as well, and your clients would also be facing a lot of such situations. So what do you do, and how do you do it?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's something which everyone goes through, especially with the work environment and with family, friends, whatever it is. So what happens is with negativity and toxicity, how it works is when you give your power to someone else, when you try to find answers, when you try to find your happiness from someone else, then it affects you. But when
Mm-hmm.
you're truly connected to your own self, your own power, your own work, and your goals, you don't have time to get affected by anything that doesn't add to your life. Okay, so what I would suggest is don't try to find your happiness or your identity or appreciation, validation from someone else. You give that to yourself, and then anything outside it is just a value addition to what you're doing. Okay, so especially with the negative and toxic people, do not expect them to behave in certain way. Allow them to be as they are, because that's how they are, and they might be going something in their life, or they might have a bad day. So don't try to expect them to behave good with you. Instead, you be like have some self love and appreciation for yourself, and create that environment within you and create that environment around you instead of expecting it from certain people.
Right. But when you are like, working in an organization, and like you say, like theoretically for a lot of people, and I used to be one of these, this sounded like a child's pipe dream, that love yourself and all of this. So how would you do it? Let's say today I'm working in a company, and my boss scolded me for something that I did not even do, and now I'm sulking and I'm feeling bad since the last 1 hour. I'm watching Gossip Girl, having a tub of ice cream, and I'm still feeling guilty and bad, knowing that this is not going to take away
Do
my
you?
sorrow. No, I don't, but I know a lot of people do. So, yeah, just
uh,
quoting it. But
yeah. So
yeah, how would you
if
go ahead with this?
yeah, so if the situation like this has already arisen, I would allow it to happen. I would allow myself to feel bad, to feel hurt.
Hmm.
Like I said, again, it's in kind of an wave. So I would
Right.
allow myself to feel that, and it wouldn't
Hmm.
last. And then in future, I would know how to deal with that person, to keep that distance, and how to act, behave, or like I would know how to be with that person, and I would do that instead.
Right.
And
And
the like
mhm,
negative people, the more you try to change them, the more you are draining your energy.
mhm,
So you can't like change others. You can only change yourself. You can only create that kind of environment within. So
right, right. I think like one of the things that everyone can also practice, which I do personally, is that when I find negative people who are not agreeing with me, I simply say you are right.
yeah,
And
that's very good. Yeah, that's what I was telling. You allow them to be like whatever they are. Don't try to change anything.
Yeah, and it suddenly, like, it won't make you feel right, but I think that's an easy way because, like you were saying, you cannot change other people, but you can definitely change the way you can handle yourself, the way you can, behave in that self. So when you are actually doing all of these things, sometimes again, one is not so mindful about all of these things. And a lot of times we regret it later that I should not have said that, I should not have had done that. So how does one become better in identifying these things? Because a lot of people, once something is done, then they realize that they did the wrong thing. So how can one be mindful and spot while this is not happening, not once it has happened? Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, 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 definitely. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure like a lot of people have a lot of regrets about things that they think that they shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
So in such case, like what I would personally do is like I wouldn't add more to that kind of toxicity or energy. I'll take a step back, and maybe I'll just walk out from there or do not like talk more and increase that thing. And it's very difficult because the anger arises like with such high intensity that you want to express it. So I would say instead of expressing it, taking it on some person, you take it in some other form, because expressing every kind of emotion is very important, and so is the anger, bitterness, whatever it is, because we are humans and we have all these kinds of feelings and emotions. So you can express it by punching it on a punching bag or throwing a pillow or just like running or exercising. There are very good ways of expressing these kind of emotions as well. So definitely,
Hmm.
yeah, I'd suggest that.
Yeah. Yeah. I did this once accidentally, but after that, this has been one of my guilty pleasures. What I do is, if I'm angry at someone,
Yeah.
I'll go ahead, I'll turn off my Wi-Fi and the mobile data. I'll send them a voice note of what I really want to say.
Oh, yeah, that works as well. Yeah, but
Yeah. And I,
you need to express it, otherwise you will
yeah,
feel uncomfortable.
yeah. And then I'll delete that
Yeah,
because
or you
that was my
type it in
reaction.
the also.
Yeah, or you can type it out. And
Yeah,
then I'll turn on the internet and then I'll send the message that I want to send.
yeah,
So do
that's
you think
very good.
even that is helpful?
Yeah, true, true.
Awesome. So another question that we here have got is that going back to meditation, a lot of people are having questions around it. So what exactly is meditation? That is one question that we have.
Yeah. So meditation is all about understanding your true nature. So now you would ask, what is your true nature? So this is a bit advanced spirituality. So you are not your mind, you are not your body, and you are the one who's observing all of it. So what meditation does is it helps you to realize your true nature. And in practical life, it helps you to be more mindful. It helps you to see things for as they are instead of judging it, labeling it the way your mind wants to be. So yeah.
Hmm. I think it's like when you play PUBG mobile in like FPP, which is first person perspective, that is how most people think of life is. But like you say, you are not your mind, you're not your body. It's like living life in a third person perspective, observing yourself as you are doing things in that particular situation, and understanding that you are more than this. Like,
Yeah.
am I getting it right?
Yeah, so it's like life is a movie. Suppose you're watching a movie on a screen, you do not
Yeah.
identify with all the characters. You just watch everything happening, and at the end of
Mhm.
the movie, that's it, like it's gone. So just
Mhm.
like that, life is a happening, and everything is arising and falling. People are coming like a characters in a movie. So you are
Right.
an observer of all of that. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. That's a great analogy. I'm gonna use it.
Yeah, so instead of like getting entangled, be involved in life, but don't get entangled in it. You see?
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's a really great way of putting it.
Mhm.
Yeah, and another question we have is like, As you said, you just make it simple in case of meditation. When I focus on my breath, lots of thoughts are coming and I get driven by them. How to control it?
So you allow it to be driven, allow it to do what it wants, you observe that, and still you sit still. So how much ever, like I said, if you try to stop it, resist it, like the question itself, how do I stop? How do I get not driven by it? You do not.
Mhm,
You get driven by it, but you observe that you are getting driven by it.
mhm.
So do not try to stop. Let the thoughts come, let the thoughts go, and again bring the focus back on your breath. Do not try to stop anything.
Right. And I also think that one of the reasons why a lot of people find this difficult, Shilpa, is because we find it difficult to lose control. We think that if we let our thoughts run our head, we're going to lose control. And I also feel that losing control is somewhere connected to our mindset. That if we lose control, like since our childhood, we have been taught that, whatever happens in your life is your responsibility. So the fear of losing control makes us not even meditate properly.
Yeah. So
Like just,
yeah,
hmm,
yeah, true. Very, very deep thought actually. So there's this thing that I follow. Whatever you resist, it persists. So
hmm,
only the fear of it is making it worse. So allow yourself to just let go for once, because fear is not real. It's an illusion that your mind creates. So you could take this as a challenge for yourself. Just like sit and allow your mind to wander wherever it wants, because we live so fearfully and allow ourselves to only think in certain way. But the moment you just face the situation or face your thoughts as they are, they have no power over you. So let the mind wander, let it happen, because like I said, you are not your thoughts. So when
right.
you say like I think like this or I feel like this, I'm feeling angry, I'm thinking like this. So you say I am feeling like this. But who is this I? So because this sentence, like you can catch yourself saying this, I think, I feel. So these are all kinds of feelings and thoughts, but you are not that. You are the one who's like seeing all this happening in your life.
Hmm, hmm.
So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think for some of you guys, you might want to watch this once again because what we
Um,
just talked about is definitely that can help you, but you need to have the patience to listen to it one more time. And another question we have is how to practice meditation in a proper way, as there are negative effects of meditation on our body if we don't follow the right steps. Like, I think these are the second part is the question, the first part is the fear.
I mean, I didn't understand like what kind
Okay.
of negative effects on the body.
So the question is if this is, I think, the question that if we don't follow the right steps of a meditation, will it have a negative effect on our body?
Uh, Not like it's not any like chemical or anything that it would harm, but definitely there are some certain practices, very basic, like
Hmm.
you sit with your spine erect, then you keep your hands upright and like this, and this is one kind of mudra where you touch this and this finger, you just like hold this and keep your hands on your lap, and you can close your eyes and focus on your breath. These are certain like very basic stuff. It wouldn't have any side effects on your body or anything. So I
Hmm.
don't think that it would affect your body in any way.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you for clearing that up. We have one more question. Will prayers make the similar effect to meditation?
uh, if you have faith and if you believe it would, then it would definitely be.
Yeah, I was watching this movie where there was this, I don't remember, like it was about history and it was, I think, a Hollywood movie where there was a guy who had meditated for years and he was walking by and he was having a conversation with one of his disciples. And he asked them that, see, look at that temple, what do you see? And he said that they are men and women who are always praying to the God. And then that uh, like the monk who was going, he asked his disciple, and what do you feel? What do we do? And he said that we talk to ourselves because we believe we are also God. And that was like a moment where I felt that a lot of times people think that both the things are the same. But I think what you say also makes a lot of more sense about it, because this is also really important.
Yeah, it is definitely. Yeah. I think, Steven, your video has paused or something. Guys, can you hear me? Can you hear Steven? Let me know in the comments. Are we still live or Steven's video has paused, it seems, but if you guys are still here, let me know in the comments. How do we get Srijan back on the video? Yeah, you guys can hear me, but his video is paused. Hold on, guys. I'm just uh, sending him a message. I hope we get him back. Okay, now. Srijan, are you back or we lost you? Yeah, there might be some network issue. Okay, I need to add him. Mm, I don't know how to use this application. I'm gonna try to add him. Hold on, guys. We are working on this. Okay, become a host.
Hi, can you see me?
Yes.
Now you can, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
I think your video
Yeah, it.
was issue.
Yeah, I had some like Wi-Fi issue and my Wi-Fi restarted on its own.
Okay, okay. I think
Yeah.
you're back
I
and
think
audible now.
I think my
Yeah.
yeah, you are. I think my Wi-Fi had really kick-ass session. He immediately implemented the meditation part. He was like, I'm going for
Chill.
meditation, you guys chat.
We need to
Yeah.
be chill from the
But yeah, we had one question like which I could read before I went away, which was like, what are the three most important things to improve our mindset, by Arun?
yeah. So number one is what kind of content you consume,
What kind of content
uh,
you consume?
online, offline. and what kind of people you surround yourself with. Srijan, I'm hearing my own voice. I don't know what the problem is.
I'll
Uh, yeah, I think now it's good. Yeah, so I was saying about what kind of content you consume online, offline, and what kind of people you surround yourself, then what kind of environment you are in. So, all of these affect your mindset a lot. What kind of things you read, watch, and so this is number one. And then, second is I can't stress enough, but exercising helps a lot to have a healthy mindset. So, any form of body movement. Uh, 4 5 times a week for 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever you can do, can really help you to gain that clarity, because when you exercise you feel alive. All parts of your body get like enough oxygen, and so is your mind. And drinking enough water, and of course, like I said before, meditating is important. And having a coach or support, to give you to have that guidance is also equally important. And like this community, having a community of people with same thoughts and goals also helps you to be mentally strong and focused. So these are some simple steps I would suggest anyone who want to have like more powerful mindset. And of course, uh, emotional intelligence is equally important. Understanding how to manage your mind, how to manage your emotions, how to manage your feelings. And I'm not sure if we can like talk about all of it in one session, but yeah, these are the things I would suggest someone to like look into.
Yeah, I think especially about consuming content, that is really important because what I see, for example, there are people, we all know people in our family, especially the who are notorious for sending forwarded WhatsApp messages and sending the news and especially the regular web series or TV series ratings, the news sites viewership has increased. So when you are consuming negative content throughout the day, it becomes really difficult to keep yourself positive.
Yeah.
So when you say that you should be mindful of consuming content, one challenge that comes up for a lot of people is how do you know a content is going to be good or bad until you don't watch it? Like, let's say today I want to learn about marketing, and until and unless I don't watch content of somebody for 2 or 3 videos, I can never really know. So, is there a hack? Is there a workaround for this that you can use?
Yeah, so in that case, like I mean, like you wouldn't even have to spend 2 3 videos. Just like with like I am a very intuitive person. I would watch someone for like 5 10 minutes, and I would understand like if it resonates with me. So this depends a lot about tuning in with yourself and understanding your likes and your dislikes, and give it a try. Try for 10 15 minutes, for 30 minutes, and see how you're feeling after that. If you feel good, then you go ahead. If you are not feeling very good, if it brings you some negative thoughts or it makes you uneasy, stop consuming that kind of content. Or and I in fact like unfollow people who I feel who I don't resonate with, because why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, I think that's one thing that introverted people always have a benefit. It was speaking for myself here, like because we really talk to a few people, and it's even simpler to say to someone that let's take a pause. But for people who are not really comfortable with this, because as you know, a lot of things in the world are done just for the sake of it, because we want to look good. Not a lot of people can step up and say, hey, I don't want to entertain this kind of stuff. What would you recommend to them? What should they do in such situation?
Yeah, so instead of asking in this way or focusing this way, I would say the right question would be, okay, what kind of content or what kind of people I would want to follow, or what kind of. So this is like reframing your self dialogue. So instead of focusing on, oh no, I don't want this, I don't like this, or this doesn't resonate, instead ask yourself, okay, what kind of content motivates me? What kind of people motivate me? What are the things that light up my soul? What are the things that give me energy? These are the right kind of questions. And asking kind of questions to yourself is very important. And when you ask right questions, you get right answers, and the energy and the mind moves in the direction.
Yeah, I actually believe in that as well. Like, I always tell people that there are nothing like wrong answers. There are only like wrong questions.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
that's
in the
so.
same way, like there are no failures in life, they are just feedbacks. So you take the feedback
Mhm.
and you move on.
Yep, yep, absolutely. And another question that I'm seeing here is, which a lot of people also would be wanting to know about, is can you suggest some books for improving the mindset?
Okay, so personally, I'm more of a video consuming person than reading books. And a lot of my books that I read are like kind of self-help, but like with spiritual. So I wouldn't suggest that here. But if you want to read a book on mindset, I would suggest there's this one book called uh, Living an Inspired Life by Wayne Dyer. And then currently I'm reading this book called Eat That Frog. And it's very empowering, doing the most toughest and important task first in the morning. So it has a lot of amazing productivity tips and tricks. So more than living an inspired life, I would suggest to read Eat That Frog book.
Yeah,
And
it's by Brian Tracy. I love it.
yeah, yeah. So the moment I started reading, like my productivity increased by like 10x. So I've been like doing all these amazing stuff for first in the morning, which I've been like procrastinating since months. So definitely that's one of my favorite books at the moment.
Right. And like when we say that, when someone is thinking about like building a strong mindset, another thing that comes into our mind, especially in the Indian society that I have seen, is the comparison loop.
Hmm.
Like when I meet anyone today, be it friends or family, there is always some sort of comparison that everyone is doing for everyone. How
Yeah.
would you how would you handle such situations? What would you do in such situations?
Yeah, and especially on social media where everything seems looks so fancy and people are living this amazing Instagram or filtered life, like you like question yourself a lot. So in such situation, you have to understand everyone is living in their own journey. Everyone has their own journey, and the situation, people, things, their experiences is different from what your life has been. So it's not right to compare yourself with others, because even for them to reach there, they might have experienced different things and have gone through different experiences and situations. So whenever like I catch myself doing that, I remind myself of the things that I already have, and to be grateful for them, and be in my own lane and focus on what matters to me and what are my goals and what are my desires, and I get the focus back on the track. Because everyone is have their own journey, and it's not right to compare yours with them.
Yeah, I think this is one thing that I see a lot of people. Having, I was having this conversation with one of my clients. She said that I compare with people that they have made so much money in this amount of time during this lockdown, while I've not even made a little money for myself. And I told her that comparison is done between things that have the same unit. Again, because I'm an engineer, so I think like that. And
Yeah. So
if
again, over
we
here, to her, you like we could suggest something like, instead of saying when will I make or why can't I make, the right question would be, okay, what would I do to make it? So you can take other people's success as an inspiration and tell yourself, okay, for that person, if this is possible, then even I can do it. So take people's success as an inspiration instead of turning it into jealousy or negativity.
Yeah, that's a really good way. That's so true. And one of the other questions that we are getting in the chat right now is how to deal with procrastination. A
Yeah.
lot of people are billionaires in their head, you know, but they don't take action. Like if they take action, I'm pretty sure if not billionaires, they can become millionaires. But again, procrastination kicks in. So how do you handle such situations? What do you do?
So there's this concept called 5 second rule, if you know it. So you decide something and you do it within, like, you take first step within 5 seconds. You actually count like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I'm going for it. Because like you said, people are living in their mind and they are billionaire in their mind, but action is equally important. And again, like I would add again to read Eat That Frog. So it's all about how to deal with procrastination. So to kill procrastination, the most easiest way is to take action. Any action, don't try to be perfect, because I, like, personally, I struggle a lot with perfectionism. But over the period of time, I've realized perfectionism doesn't matter, but taking action and progress matters a lot. So yeah,
Right. I think that's true. So most people they get up in the bed and they sit there
Mhm.
for like 1 minute, 2 minutes, 10 minutes. I know if I do that, I'll fall asleep. So I don't get up from my bed. I jump out of my bed, and I literally jump out of my bed because I know if I don't land in 5 seconds, I'm gonna sleep again.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's a really practical way. And
Yeah,
one,
procrastination happens when you're in your own mind thinking one thing over and over again. So you have to get out of your mind and actually be in this present moment and take action.
hmm, right, right. And one more question that we are having here by Naushad is how to overcome the fear of failure.
Yeah, so like said earlier, do not take failure as a failure, but take it as a feedback, and instead ask yourself, okay, what would I do instead to be successful, or what success means to me, and what would I do instead? So, a very important point about asking right questions, having that right self dialogue with yourself, because
Mhm.
thoughts and words are very powerful the way you frame it. So definitely, don't try to overcome anything. Just try to ask yourself, okay, instead, what would I like to do? And the answer would be very
Hmm.
different, and so would be the action that would follow it.
Right, right, right. I think like reframing the entire sentence can do miracles. So I
Yeah,
always used to tell people I don't have time for doing this until one day my coach said, next time don't tell someone that you don't have time. Simply say, I don't care to do this because everyone has the same number of hours. And
yeah,
when I started reframing it that way, I realized that my innate feeling of being likable in the social like structure kicked in, and now I don't say anyone that I don't have time because I know I have to say I don't care. So now I'm really mindful of what I say and what I do just because
yeah,
of reframing one sentence.
yeah. So
That's
powerful.
absolutely. And Pritham is having a question. He says, how to overcome frustration, depression, failures, and being broke all the time.
Yeah, so in this case, so is it like a clinical depression, or I would like to know the intensity? Because if it's intense, I would definitely suggest to take professionals' help in dealing with it. But if it's something related to work, definitely start small, start exercising, start surrounding yourself with like-minded people, positive people, be in the community of people who are doing great things, who are positive. So these are very simple things, and be aware of what kind of people you're surrounding yourself with. Yeah. And about being broke all the time, I think Srijan is the best person to help you with it. He's already doing great stuff in the community for people to earn well and do great things.
Yeah, sure, sure. We'll definitely cover that in some other session, Preetham. But until then, if you take action on this, I'm pretty sure your situation will start getting better.
I would like to add
And
one more thing, Preet. Like, talk to someone, seek out help, even because a lot of time we are just in our head, but when we express it, it we really understand, okay, it's not that severe, because when you're in your own mind, it feels like it's a big thing. Or other thing is, write it down, write all your frustrations and thoughts that are not helping you on a piece of paper and tear it down. It feels very light, but it's very important to get out of your system, to either share it with person, seek out help, or take it out on a paper, whatever it is, but take it out. Do not like keep it to yourself and keep sulking in it.
right. Right, which brings me to one really important question that Jayesh shared. So, like you see, Shilpa, a lot of people today, they start one thing today, tomorrow they are doing something else, yesterday they were doing something else, and they have a habit of not sticking to it. Now, a lot of people say, I don't have that kind of patience. A lot of people say, I don't have that kind of, persistence. But my first question is, how do you stay focused like on one thing for a long period of time? And secondly, how do you find on what do you want to stay focused?
Yeah. So again, over here, uh, having a vision is very important. So vision is something like you think 1, 2, 3, 5 years ahead, and you make it so real in your mind. So it acts like an anchor, and then you are just like following that anchor and doing things automatically. So definitely having a vision, like what is it that you're trying to achieve. So if you have a vision in your mind, then you will work towards it. And then there's this concept of chunking down. So like having one goal, one vision, and then understanding what your long-term goal is, and then chunking it down, breaking it down into pieces, and then so when I say in pieces, like you break 1 year's vision into months, and then months vision into weeks, and then days, and then every day would you would know like what do I need to do today to reach there. So instead of wandering here and there, you would stick to that plan, and then achieve towards it. And to do this, to even do this every day, to be on the path, you need to first realize if how important it is, how important that vision is for you. So again, over here, why behind that vision, why behind that goal is important, why is it important to you, why are you doing it. So reminding yourself again and again helps. So having a vision, having a why behind that are the two important things that will help you to be on the path towards achieving it.
Yeah, I definitely feel having a vision is important because if you don't know where you are going, it's like you are driving a car at full speed without knowing where do you want to go and which direction you are heading.
Changing the direction all the time, you wouldn't reach the destination.
Yeah, that's also true. And yeah, guys, I think we have taken most of the questions. If you have any other questions that you want to um, like ask Shilpa, please put them in chat. If you have any feedback for the session, please share it in the chat. I'm dropping Shilpa's Instagram account link in the chat. You can go and follow her on Instagram. She shares a lot of cool and relevant stuff on her Instagram. And Shilpa, you also told me that you're working about a new program called Illumination. So, what is that about? Like, would you like to talk about it for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, sure. So, guys, I have this group program called Illumination. It is a 5 weeks program. So, Illumination is all about understanding your mind, your energy, your body, and how to be thriving in your mind and body. So I cover a lot about having a clear mindset, improving your productivity, truly understanding who you are, and connecting to your true essence, and how to gain that power back, and how to wake up every day excited for your goals, and how to stay on track. So it's a very holistic 5 weeks program with me, and we are starting in first week of October. I'll drop a link of the program in the chat box, and if this interests you, do check it out.
Yeah, sure, guys. Like Arun is saying, her Instagram is quite good, followed. Yeah, Arun, definitely. Like, go check it out. See, like, if that interests you, send her a DM, talk about it. And we have one more question from Pallavi, who is saying that I'm consistent with work, failing a bit, and that is certainly influencing me so much. Failing, falling, and getting up each time brings certain tiredness, and I find difficult
Failing,
to change that mindset.
I'm consistent with work, failing a bit, and that is suddenly influencing me so much. Failing and getting up each time brings a certain tiredness. Suddenly, I find difficult to change that mindset. Yeah, so I think you answered your own question as well. You need to take a step back, relax a bit, and taking a step back helps a lot to regain the energy and the mindset. So do not get disheartened by failures. Just take them as a feedback and get back again on the track. And if you need some time, take some time out. You don't need to push yourself so hard. This is very unlikely to what others say, like push yourself hard, achieve that, this, that. But then if you're not right, if it doesn't feel right in your mind and body, you wouldn't feel good about even after achieving it. So definitely take a step back, relax, and then start again.
Yeah, I think sometimes pausing, reviewing, and reflecting is very important because you can't see something that is just close to your eyes. You need to
Yeah,
go back and see how things have evolved.
yeah, it helps to like clear your perspective a lot. Yeah.
Definitely. So, yeah, Shilpa, we don't have any other questions, but oh, yeah, we got one. So, I don't know the reason, but sometimes I feel low. It might be because of high work hours or mental disturbance. How do I work on it?
Yeah, so like I said before, all the feelings and emotions, they come in form of a wave. So this feeling low, don't try to resist it. Let it come, and it would go in like couple of minutes or in some time, and do something that you enjoy instead of being in it. So there's this subconscious belief that feeling low or feeling sad is not a good feeling. It's just that we are labeling all these kinds of feelings. They just come and they go. You don't need to judge. You don't need to label. Feel it all and allow it to come and go. That helps a lot.
Yeah, I think half of the problems would evaporate if someone does not put any labels.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so true. And yeah, I think we are done with most of the questions, Shilpa. So, any parting words of advice, um, any stuff that you would want to recommend, any other books, anything that you would want to share, any final tips?
Yeah, so I would definitely suggest meditating. Start small, start with guided meditation, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and see how you feel. And do not judge yourself so much all the time. It's okay to feel all kinds of thoughts and feelings. We are humans and we have come up with certain kind of setup in your mind, in our body. So allow all of it to happen. Nothing is wrong, nothing is right, and you just need to be still. So yeah, meditation is something that I would strongly suggest everyone to start doing. And you've got this, guys. I'm sure this community. I've just recently we have started being a part of it. It's so positive. Everyone is helping everyone, and they come forward. So if you need help, don't be fearful. Just come out, seek out help, and everyone is like always connected, especially during pandemic. things are a bit uncertain, but we are so lucky to have internet and to be connected with people. So seek out help.
Mhm. Yeah, that is so important. Like reaching out to people, letting know that you want to talk to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So.
in the end, we are all humans with same kinds of feelings, emotions, and a lot of us are going through same things in life. So
Mhm.
there's nothing like wrong to just come out and ask for help. It always helps.
Yep, that's correct. So I think, guys, we are done with most of the questions. And yeah, thank you so much, Shilpa, for hopping onto this live, sharing all of this stuff, and taking time out of your schedule. This really means a lot. And I would highly encourage everyone to watch this live one more time, even if you have been here since the beginning, because you don't know what you'll pick up in the second time. And even one golden nugget can change your next week, your next month, or even the entire year for you. So thank you so much for being on this live.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And thank you, each one of you, for amazing questions and joining this session today. Thank you.
Yeah. And guys, go check out her Instagram. I've dropped the link already in the chat. And if you guys are watching the replay, type in hashtag replay in the comments so we know you guys were watching the replay. And if you want to like work with Shilpa, if you want to, take her help, just send her an Instagram DM and she'll definitely get back to you. And yeah, thank you so much once again. We'll just go ahead and end this live and
Thank you.
we'll see you soon, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.